So we'll start off with the first functionality that we'll be showcasing today. We'll start off with the new 3D sketching functionality in Inventor 2017. With Inventor 2017, we have incorporated new functionalities such as 3D transform, different constraint types if you're performing a 3D sketch, and also curve the face functions if, let's say, you'll be using surfacing controls. So I'll do a quick demonstration on how to use the new control functionalities in 3D sketching in Inventor. So currently I have my base sketch here, which is and my goal here is to perform a frame assembly. And I can start off with my 3D sketch by using this functionality 3D sketch. And 3D sketch mainly is made up of all lines, arcs, and circles, but you can draw in X, Y, and Z directions. So let's say if I'm going to add let's say a length here, which is let's say 2 meter length, I have a small tab here that showcases that I can select different planes, whether I'm using the XY plane, YZ plane, or the XZ plane. If I click one of those, it will automatically adjust and it will assign that I'm sketching on that particular plane. Like in this example, I'm drawing it in my Z direction, and I can specify a value that I want, let's say 2 meter length. Next, if I'm going to want to stay on the plane, you can, if you want to change or stay on with the same plane as what you're currently sketching right now, so you can also use the same plane, or you can click on a different plane if you want a different angle. So from here, if I press my tab button here, it will automatically toggle between different dimensions. If, let's say, I change this to 60, and another one will be, let's say, 90 degrees. I can finish off my frame like so. So the new constraints that are available in Inventor 2017 enables you to align your sketches, whether it's going to be parallel on Z-axis, or let's say on this particular sketch, I want to align it on the XZ axis or XZ plane, or rather the YZ plane. So I can adjust my sketching here, like so. And then from here, I can simply use this sketch for my next design. Okay. And let me just adjust this a little bit. Okay. So if I want to use this sketch and I want to replicate it, let's say on another point, we can use other functionalities like mirror, or creating a different plane, or I can copy and paste that similar sketch. So what I can do here is I can simply select this all of these sketches. I can use these functions Control-C, Control-V for pasting it, and it automatically calls out the 3D transform functionality, which is over here. You can activate this anytime, or whenever you use the Control-C and Control-V functions in Inventor, it automatically knows that you're trying to copy something out. And from here, you can specify also the values, whether it's going to be, let's say, 600 millimeters. And it will automatically copy that. If, let's say, you decided to change the location, you can simply recreate or reuse the function to change the location of that sketch. So I'm going to create another line here to start off with. So I can change the angle once again. So I can pick those planes that I have here, or I can just simply draw to the next point. Let me just finish it off here. So connecting points is very easy within Inventor. It's just like performing any other sketches. So by using 3D sketching, you can use this for creating like for frames, like in my example over here. Okay, So I have this frame assembly that I have created previously. And when you use the frame assembly, as part of the new functionalities in Inventor 2016, you have this function insert frame, which is already available since then. But part of the 2016 functionalities that we are also carrying over in Inventor 2017 is this reuse function. So all you need to do, if let's say in this particular weldment, right, or in this particular frame, I've already done some trimming on this part, and I just want to reuse the same frame here that I have already performed the trim. So by using the reuse function, all you need to do is to pick a source member and a particular location that you want to copy it over. Just click, and then it will automatically reuse that frame. If let's say if it has holes or slots or any trimming that you have performed, it will automatically copy all those features into the new frame. So you don't have to redo everything all over again. So over here, I have an angled frame, and I can simply copy that once again. Let's say if I'm going to position it over here, you can control the angle over here. Wherein, if let's say I want to change it to 0 degree, or if you want to change the location, you can still control. And you can just hit OK. It will create it once more. So just to top it off, we'll just use this same function, reuse. Click this frame, and then copy it over here. Click apply. So next, what we'll be showcasing is some of the features that were submitted in Idea Station. So thank you to all the users that are submitting ideas in Autodesk Inventor Hub. Later, if you would like to suggest any functionalities that should be included inside Inventor, I'll showcase you some of the links. And I'll be showcasing most of the top functionalities that were submitted in Idea Station, and it was implemented in Inventor 2017. So let's start off. So we have, first of all, we have the feature relationships inside Inventor. So over here, if I have features inside my history tree here, when I right-click, we have this functionality called relationships. So once you select that feature, it will give you a dialog box that will showcase all the parent and child relationships between features. So one of the advantages of using this functionality is for you to actually check, and you can modify directly or activate the command directly from the relationships dialog box. So that saves a lot of time for the users, especially for some of the users that has a very long list of a history tree. And you can see easily if you're making a change on a particular feature, what are the parts, or let's say features that's going to be affected. Next is we have this pattern orientation functionality in 2017. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this feature, which is an extrusion and also a fillet. Once you use this functionality called circular pattern, you can select the features unlike any other functionalities that you have used in Inventor previous versions. So you can just pick the features that you want to copy over, and then we can select a rotation axis. Let's just say I want to copy it in my y-axis. So the new functionality that we have in 2017 is that we have this fixed orientation. So as you can see clearly that the green highlight before I even activate the command, it is currently performing as a rotational orientation. If I select it as fixed, it will give me a different type of orientation. So users has more control if, let's say, if they want to generate different features inside Inventor. So I'll hit this OK, and this is the new functionality, new feature that we can come up with Inventor. Next, one of the cool features that we have in Inventor 2017 is the ability of using pattern and mirror for multi-bodies. So I can easily select, let's say, one body. Okay, let's say I want to create a mirror. Okay, a mirror of this particular body. So we can mirror that solid, and then we can activate a mirror plane. Let's say YZ plane, and then you can select new solid if you want a new solid body, or if you want to join it on the same body that we have created just now. So as you create that, it generates a new body. Coming back to the patterns list, inside 2017, we have this new functionality called sketch-driven patterns. So for those of you, if you're driving a sketch based on Excel, or let's say you creating sketch points using Excel, or you can just manually create sketch points within your sketch planes, you can actually copy the features. Let's say my original feature here is an extrusion and a fillet. So I can simply copy that over. I have my previous sketch here that I have previously created. And what I can do is I can simply select that sketch and activate this command called sketch-driven pattern. And what I can do is I can copy that features, which is extrusion 2 and the fillet. So even though that it is on a different body, sketch-driven pattern will copy that feature into the new body that I'm currently creating. Right? So it will simply copy that over. So now in Inventor 2017, also submitted in Idea Station, we can now do some transparency in the assembly, opening references directly from the assembly within Inventor 2017. So let's have a look on that function. So if I have my assembly here, and I want to, let's say, hide a specific feature. Let's say I want to interrogate my model, and I want to see what is the components inside. Let's say it can be an electrical box, it can be a service panel, and you just want to see the contents of, let's say, of this part inside. So all you need to do is to right-click on the part, and then you can just select transparent. Okay, let me just highlight that to you. So just right-click on the part, use transparent, and you can easily select the transparency on that part. So you can easily see whatever is inside, or let's say it will give you a preview or the transparent view for that part. Next, what we have here is if I have this cross references that I want to open it directly. Let's say I have a sketch over here. Let's say I have a part. So now within Inventor 2017, once you see this adaptive feature, you can open up the references of this part. So it's part of the new capabilities that we have inside 2017. So if it is referenced to another component, based on the reference sketch, it will open up that part let's say if it is reference on this particular bolt or not, it will automatically open up within Inventor. So next, what we're going to showcase to you is a shape generator. This was initially introduced in Inventor 2016 R2, and it assists in the conceptual design of structurally efficient parts. So now in Inventor 2017, we have improved and enhanced this functionality, wherein you can specify the target mass, you can specify the symmetry within the component, and you can also use some interactive tools so that if you want to, let's say, preserve a certain region, you can use some drag arrows to define the shape, or define the shape of the preserved regions. So let me show you that functionality in 2017. So let's say I have this part that I want to improve, and I want to perform some lightweighting on this part. And what I have here is the original part file, and I want to improve that. So using, for those of you who are using Autodesk Inventor, starting from 2016 and 2017, we have this function called shape generator. I think from the image here, it will clearly describe what this function does. So you have a base shape. Okay. You have a base shape wherein you can specify all the constraints. So the underlying technology is using FEA, and all you need to do is to specify three things. First is the material, which you already specified inside the Inventor, so it will automatically copy that. Next, you just need to specify the geometry, which also has been created already. And last is actually the boundary conditions, wherein you specify where are the loads, where are the constraints, very simple steps. So from here, I have this loads that has been defined. So as you can see here, I have a particular 1000 Newton load, which is a bearing load. And these are pin constraints, and also if this part is going to hit at a certain location. So we can specify some regions that we would like to preserve, okay, wherein you can specify the size of that region. So this is a new functionality in 2017, wherein you can just simply drag and drop the shape that you would like to preserve. Another functionality that we have in 2017 is the symmetry plane, wherein you can define symmetry so that whatever changes that happens on the left will happen on the right. Lastly, in the Inventor 2017, we have this shape generator settings. So inside the shape generator settings, you can specify now the target mass. If, let's say, if you want to achieve a specific mass of, let's say, 2 kilograms, you can just simply specify that directly within the dialog box. And then once you're ready, you can just simply generate that shape. And once it generates that shape, it will discretize your model into finite element shapes. So if the underlying technology is FEA, so it will perform a linear static analysis based on the loadings that you have defined. And from there, okay, so shape generator will automatically give you a preview of the actual shape of how it should look like. So what I've done here is I tried to target a 75% reduction of the initial shape of my design. So from here, Inventor 2017 will enable you to optimize your design before you go for more detailed design. And all you need to do is once you finish that analysis, you can promote that shape, which I've done so here. So all you need to do is you can perform sketches, fillets, to trace out the changes that you want on this part. So I have pre-created a sketch here that I want to make a change. Okay. And you can use the same functionalities that are available already inside Inventor, wherein you can just perform extrude cuts. Okay. So you just simply trim that out, click OK. Now I have my new shape. So from here, it will enable you to actually optimize your design during the conceptual phase. Okay, so next, we'll showcase new functionalities in sheet metal. We can have new options when we want to create like punch tools and some corner edits. For those of you who are in the sheet metal industry, or if you're a sheet metal designer, there are a lot of functionalities that are embedded inside 2017. Okay. Let me just open that part. Okay. So what I have here is I have a punch tool that I have already created. So inside the Inventor 2017, we have this flat pattern representation. So if you create like forming tools, such as punches or let's say forming tools, and it has like a 2D sketch representation or a center mark. So whenever you perform a flat pattern, it will not show the actual punch tool when it is on the folded state. So this can be useful for users who just wants to create 3D views without changing the blank layout for their part. So we're giving you that flexibility. So by default, you have the form punch feature, so that once you click this finish and you go to your flat pattern, it will include the cutouts that you have performed. So let me go back to my folded part over here. And now inside 2017, when you create your flanges, you'll notice this icon. Okay, let's say I'm going to perform some basic flange on this three component. Let's say on these 4 sides of the sheet metal. You will notice this icon over here. So here you can specify exactly any reliefs that you would like to specify in different locations. Of course, you can specify similarly to all, but for certain areas that you would like to change, you can just simply select that, and then from here you can specify a corner edit. So this is very useful because if you're going to change the corners of different sizes, you can just simply select on a particular corner, and then from here you can specify also the relief size. Let's say I want to specify as 5. Okay, and once I hit apply, it will automatically create that notch for you. So for those who manually create notches, so this functionality will help you when you're creating your sheet metal design. So for those who are if you want to subject this for tire punching or laser cut, so you don't have to perform manual reliefs. So this is already pre-created when you create your sheet metal design. So we'll continue on with some of the documentation enhancements in 2017. So in 2017, we have added capabilities wherein you can text wrap, you can open parts directly for drawing environment, and also the jagged line display. So let me show you a quick demonstration of those functionalities. Okay. So what I have here is I have my parts list. So every time I actually drag, let's say I want to resize my columns here, so it will automatically perform a text wrap. So this is pretty useful for those who constantly modify their parts list, or let's say their notes. And if I want to open certain functions, or sorry, certain parts in my assembly. So I can simply select, let's say I want to select based on part hierarchy or assembly, and I can open directly from my drawing view. Also, I can open parts directly within my parts list as well. So if I right click here, open, so it will automatically open up that component. So I can open up directly from my parts list if I want to interrogate my model, and if I want to interrogate my assembly as well, you can just open directly here. Okay. A new functionality that we have in 2017 is when you're creating views. Let's say I want to create a section view. Let's say of this particular view here. Okay, so you notice here on my dialog box, there's an option here whether you want smooth edges or if you want cut edges. So once you select, let's say, cut edges, so it will give you that jagged edge display when you're creating that section view. So again, this additional functionality and flexibility when you're creating drawings inside Inventor. So we'll go through with some interoperability improvements in Inventor 2017. So the next feature that we'll be showcasing to you is basically reference model, or normally we call it as AnyCAD. I believe if you have heard about AnyCAD functionality, this functionality will enable you to import files directly, whether it's SolidWorks, whether it's NX, whether it's ProE file, directly within Inventor, and it doesn't have to be saved as a local Inventor file or as a native Inventor file. So if there are changes that are made, let's say to that SolidWorks file, to that NX file, or let's say to any other CAD format, or even CATIA, it will automatically update your assembly. So this is very useful for those OEM manufacturers wherein you have to download and reuse your supplier's CAD data. So if they have certain updates on their parts, it will automatically update that assembly. So in Inventor 2017, we have extended that functionality for using it into step files. So based on the survey that we have conducted in the US, step files are actually translated over 500,000 times per month. So we see the urgency of why step files support should be included inside Inventor. So I'll show you some example on how to do that in Inventor for those of you who are not familiar with AnyCAD. So with the AnyCAD assembly or AnyCAD functionality, all you need to do is, if you want to take in a sample part file, let's say from CATIA, SolidWorks, or NX, all you need to do is basically select once you're importing a file. So just select Place Imported CAD Files. And once you select that Place Imported CAD Files, you can now import step files. Let's say I have a step file here that I want to link inside my assembly. Okay, let's say I want to click this and insert. So Inventor will automatically ask you whether do you want to create a reference model or a convert model. If you select convert model, it will be the same procedure as what we are opening, let's say, third-party CAD applications in the past. Meaning, if you use convert model, it will be saved as a native Inventor file. But if you select reference model, or we term it as AnyCAD, you can simply link it directly to your assembly. So let me show you that functionality wherein we select reference model. I'll click OK here. Okay. So as you can see, I've created a link to my current step file. So next, what I'm going to do is I'll just do a basic constraint here so that my assembly will be completed. Okay, let me just position it over here. So as you notice that the current position of my part here is misaligned, and this can be a typical problem that you might face in your day-to-day workload, right? Wherein you receive a CAD model from a supplier, and they provided you with the wrong CAD file when you actually place it in your assembly. And normally, you'll send an email to provide you the latest CAD models. And the problem here is that once they provide you a new CAD model, you have to redo your assembly all over again. But here, with the AnyCAD technology, so what I'll do is I'll perform a typical design change wherein I'm going to replace my original step file. So all you need to do is to simply overwrite that file with the new file that was provided to you. Okay, so I'll do a simple Control-C and Control-V here and replace that original step file that I have. Automatically, Inventor will highlight to you that there's an update that needs to be done. So once you trigger that update, it will automatically update the parts, whether it's step file, whether it's SolidWorks, CATIA, or NX files or ProE files. So this is very useful for those of you who frequently download third-party CAD application or third-party CAD formats. Next, we'll showcase some of the capabilities that we have in DWG Underlay. So we have also added two functionalities wherein you can crop the AutoCAD drawing, and also you can add another instance. So the DWG Underlay technology is the same technology that we have in AnyCAD. So for those users who are using AutoCAD and you want to reuse your existing AutoCAD drawings for your Inventor assemblies, you can now do so by using the DWG Underlay technology. So I'll share you some examples of that. Okay. So what I have here is I have my my throttle pedal that I want to create a new part, and what I would like to do is I would like to reuse my existing drawing that I have done within AutoCAD. So I want to import this AutoCAD drawing in my Inventor assembly. So normally what would you do if you're not using Inventor 2016 or 2017 is just to simply copy and paste. But by using the AnyCAD technology, if there are changes in the AutoCAD drawing, it will automatically update your Inventor drawing part or your Inventor assembly. So for you to showcase that functionality, all you need to do is to simply import that file. So there's a preview here. Click here, open. So all you need to do is to pick a reference plane and a reference point. And then DWG Underlay will automatically place that inside as part of your part model. Now, within Inventor 2017, so we have added this functionality, two functions, wherein you can create a crop, or you want to create another instance of that drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this crop functionality, and what I just simply need to do is to simply select that view that I would like to crop. So just press enter. It will hide everything that I have imported just now. And if I want to reposition this component, let's say this drawing, to my component over here, all you need to do is to right-click again on the drawing and then hit translate. Okay. If I click translate, you can simply locate that part Okay, let's say I wanted to put it here at the center point, and then click OK. So I have my drawing here. So for most of you who just wants to use this as a reference, let's say I can convert this into a 3D model. But what if I just want to use it as a reference inside my drawings? So I have my drawing here, which I have my latest file that was attached, and I just want to show that drawing inside my Inventor assembly over here, which is my drawing view. So going here on the model browser, you can just simply select that drawing, okay, over here. So we have that drawing, and all you need to do is to simply select that and include. So once you include, it will include that drawing file that you have imported in your Inventor assembly. Okay, pretty cool stuff. Next is mesh handling. So for those of you who download files, or let's say if you receive CAD formats in STL or OBJ format, now you can import it directly within Inventor assemblies. So coming back to my assembly here, say I have my assembly over here, and what I have is a part file that was imported. So this is a STL file. So even though if it is a STL file format, once you insert it in your assembly, let's say I'm going to place this component, which is that pedal assembly. Okay. So even though you're using this step file, and when you're using constraints, right? Let's say or join commands, you can simply select, let's say on the circular features, or let's say if you want to perform some constraint on planar features, you can Autodesk Inventor will automatically identify that, right, for you. So even though if it is a step file, you can still include it inside your assembly. Okay, and once you have included that, click OK. Okay. Oh, I selected rigid. Sorry. So let me just select that as rotational. Yep. Okay. Okay. So let's say I can reposition that over here and move that STL file directly within your assembly. And with Inventor 2017, we support also for pattern. So if let's say I want to pattern this STL file that I have imported, so all you need to do is to click pattern, select that STL file, and then you can preview a direction. Let's say I want to select this edge as a reference, put it as a distance of 108 millimeters, click OK. Yeah. So now you can actually use component patterns with STL file formats. Next is for most of you who are using STL files, we have this function called fit mesh face. Okay, so what it does, it will help you, for those of you who are using this for reverse engineering. For example, you receive an STL file and you want to convert that STL file into a surface, and later on creating it as a solid body. We have this functionality called fit mesh face. So by using that function, all you need to do is to use that function, select, and then once you simply select on a particular face, it will automatically convert that face into a surface. So if I hit apply here, I can use that, and it will generate a surface here on my left. And then if I pick on this particular face, it will automatically create a planar surface as well. So this is very useful for reverse engineering. Furthermore, for those of you who just want to use your STL files as a reference sketch, you can use the reference files by projecting the geometry on the reference STL file. So when you use, so we support also using project geometry for tracing. So I've pre-created this sketch. So all you need to do is to pick a certain edge and then select pick geometry. Then it will automatically generate that sketch for you. So this is very useful if you're using this for tracing similar, let's say, edges or let's say arcs or circles within your STL files. So not only that, within Inventor 2017, so as you notice that there's some interference in my assemblies, Inventor 2017 also recognizes STL files as part of the interference. So if you inspect this and perform some analyze interference, let's say on this part, and let's say these components. So Inventor 2017 will know that there's some interference between your STL file and your assembly. Okay. Next. So we'll go through some of the capabilities that we have in terms of improving communication and collaboration between different teams. We have this new capability within Inventor, which is, we call it connected design. So when you are using connected design, you can actually launch like a live review with your Inventor assembly directly and send it via email. So people can actually open up directly through a browser or using an iPad or even Android, because it is actually using an internet browser to create a live session of those files that you would like to share, whether you have a team from Indonesia or Thailand or Vietnam or even Singapore. So you can just simply create that live design review within different peers, and then from there you can create different comments if there's changes that are necessary directly, and it is live. So to do that and to access that functionality, let me go back here in my assembly, and I want to create a live design review of this assembly that I have here. So if you notice here on the far right end, I have a small square dialog box button here, or icon. So all you need to do is to pick that icon, and then you have this connected design on A360. So the underlying backbone here is A360. So all you need to do is to share this review, and then you can specify email address for different colleagues that you want to invite in that review. So all you need to do is, once you start that design share, okay, so it will upload that into the cloud for others to view. So it will depend on the users that you actually invited. So they are the ones that will only access this file. And then from there, you can do a live collaboration. Okay. So you can do a live collaboration so that people can see. Okay, so you can, let's say currently this is the live review that I've launched. So click here, view. And then from here, it's like a Skype session or a chat session wherein for those users that you have sent an email to, so you can simply interrogate the assembly that you have shared among different groups. And then from here, it's like a Facebook type of approach wherein you can create different comments, or that you can even interrogate the model, similar to what you have been using in A360. So you can perform some isolate, hide selected, you can perform measurements directly within the design review. Okay. So next, some of the Inventor presentation enhancements that we have included in 2017. So we have included the timeline-based story panel. You can create different snapshot views, and then you can also publish it into raster image or even as a video. And let me show you that functionality in Inventor 2017. So I have my my IPN file here. So for those who are not familiar with IPN, so these are the Inventor presentation files, wherein in the past you create your exploded views directly within this file format. In Inventor 2017, we have enhanced this functionality wherein you can generate different snapshot views. So it is as simple as this. So click a snapshot view. So on my left side here at the bottom left, it creates that particular view. Now what I want is to tweak the components. So if you want to move around certain components, so all you need to do is to select those components that you want to move, click tweak components. Of course, you can change opacity anytime. And if let's say my orientation here is moving on the wrong direction, you can actually locate where you want to position that the triad, right? So now it has moved to a different location for the triad, and then I can simply generate that movement. If there's option here as well, wherein you want to create a full trail or you want to create trail segments, meaning this one is actually, those are the lines. Okay, maybe I'll just zoom in closely here so that you can see. So these trail segments are those purple lines over here. So this can be used for your drawings, and some of them, there are things that you don't like. You can just simply delete those away. So by selecting delete existing trails, so hover your mouse on that sketch and then delete. So you can perform other things, like for example, if I want to do some more rotations here, I can do so. And I'm just showing you some examples on how to do it quickly. And once I create a new snapshot view, click that snapshot view, I have a new view that is generated here on the left. So what is useful for this tool is you can simply create a drawing view. Let's say I want to create Inventor drawing file, and okay, let me resize that for you. So new functionalities that we have in Inventor 2017 is to select those views as well that you have created in your IPN file. So I can select view 2, click OK. So every time that you update that view, this drawing view automatically updates as well. So that is pretty sleek and unique functionality that we have improved in 2017. Also, I have pre-created an assembly here with some movement. Let me just adjust this for a second here. Okay. Hide this. Okay. So we have this timeline also that we have in Inventor 2017. So every time that you use this tweak components function, it will automatically generate a timeline for you, and then you can control. When you drag, so let's say a certain camera movement, you can actually delay that, or a certain movement of a component can be dragged in the different location for the timeline. So you can control the amount of duration, whether you want it faster or longer. So just by simple drag and drop. So let me just show you. So I just created this example for you to see some of the capabilities that we can do in 2017. Okay. So it might look jagged. I mean, it's a bit jittery in your screen. So, but in my screen here is very fluid and smooth. But also, you can also publish this as a video. Okay. So if let's say if it is rendered, let's say with the realistic view, okay. Again, it will. Sorry about the video wherein it looks like it's very jittery, but when you publish that, you can even generate like realistic images easily using the Inventor presentation functionality. Okay. Okay. And last but not the least, we have this 3D PDF publishing functionality in Inventor 2017. Again, this is the highest votes that we got from Idea Station. It got over 500 votes last year. So again, later on, I'll share with you the link where you can submit your ideas. And once we get more traction of those, let's say, of those ideas, they get implemented as well in Inventor. So if I have an assembly over here, and let me go back. Okay, let's say in this assembly. So if you want to export that as a 3D PDF, all you need to do is to simply click File, Export, and then select 3D PDF. So when you select 3D PDF, we actually work with this Anar Core technology, wherein you can even attach. So even though if it is a PDF file, you can attach step files, drawing files, JPEG, different file attachments inside that PDF. So we have this visualization quality wherein you can refine how much detail would you like to specify, and also the properties of your Inventor assembly parts, drawings, and assemblies can be captured here when you publish it into 3D PDF. So when you hit publish, it will generate a PDF file, okay, with this look. Okay, so wherein you can also interrogate and share with your, let's say, colleagues, or let's say your suppliers, or your customers. And you can see here there's a model tree captured. You can also play if there's certain animations. And also you can change different views, whether you want perspective view, orthographic view, or you want to change as wireframe, you can do so directly within the PDF. Like working with Inventor, but again, in the PDF format. Also, I mentioned about attachments just now. So you can also add attachments. So if, let's say, if I have a JPEG file here or a PNG file here, you can simply open it directly from the PDF. Okay, so hopefully you have seen some of the new technologies that we have included in 2017. So now we're going to open the poll for any Q&A. Okay, so maybe before